Hey everybody, how's everyone doing today? What a fantastic first round we had. We finally have defeated that monster of the first round playoffs that we could not get by. I just want to thank the fans for their support in the struggles of getting through the first round exits. But our work is not done here. We have to push on. We are now going into the second round. Hopefully we can carry this momentum and push through the second round and go on to a third round and even maybe push on to get to the finals and see where we can go. And if this is going to be the year the Leafs are going to win the Stanley Cup. But let's get into this second round, see how far we can go, and hope for good things.
Toronto will be going on to play Florida. We beat Florida once in October. We beat them again in February. We lost to them in March, and we lost to them in April. It is a 2-2 regular season series between Florida and Toronto going into the playoffs. Connor Brown, 6 games, 9 points. The guy has been an absolute machine for us. And we are going to start the first game of the second round for Toronto in the playoffs. That is right, the first game in the second round. As it's halfway through the first period, it's still 0-0. 6 shots Toronto, but we're on a power play and they bury on the power play. Tarasenko gets one past Bob, and we take a 1-0 lead in round 2 of the playoffs. Let's go. Going into the second period with a 1-0 lead, 15 shots Florida, 10 shots Toronto. Halfway through the second period, it is still 1-1. The boys are fighting. The Leafs are trying hard. Patrice Bergeron with his first point as a Toronto Maple Leaf in the playoffs to make it a 2-0 game. Sam Reinhart comes in and pulls one past Samsonov to make it 2-1. Ending of the second period, 18 shots Toronto, 22 shots Florida. What a game. First game, it's a close one. Toronto has a 2-1 lead in the third period. 5 minutes in, Toronto gets a power play. They make nothing of it. They get another power play, 5-on-3, 5-on-4, and they do. Lundstrom scores. Oh yeah, baby, let's go. Ending the third period, 3-1, 33 shots Toronto, 28 shots. Toronto gets its first win in the second round in who knows how long. Connor Bedard is upset. You promised me more minutes, but I'm still riding the pine. We apologize, Connor. How can I make it up to you? You can start by giving me extra minutes. Next year, Connor. Next year. We'll promise him the next few games, but honestly, it's probably not going to happen. Now that Patrice is back, Connor does not like playing second line minutes. He wants first line minutes, and he will not be getting it till next year, unfortunately. But we're going to start game 2. Florida's going to come out quick, and Matthew Tkachuk is going to bury one. The Florida's been pushing hard as they've gotten a couple of power plays. Toronto is got to clean up their act. 10 shots Florida, 4 shots Toronto. We got to get going. The boys are starting really slow in this game. 1-0. If they don't start pushing, this one might get away from them. We're starting the second period down by 1. We get a power play. We don't make anything of it. 4-on-3. We get the power play again, but nothing happens as the teams exchange power plays. Halfway through the second period, Lundstrom ties it up 1-1. Toronto is slowly coming back for shots, 27-17, as they keep getting power plays but not making anything of them as they end the second tie game, 30 shots to 22. Can we go into the third and get the game-winning goal? Who will be the superstar in Toronto? 34 shots Florida, 24 shots Toronto. Halfway through the third period, Toronto takes it, a 2-1 game. Connor Bedard takes the lead, and Connor Brown comes in and tucks home a second goal to get a cushion. As it comes 3 minutes left in the game, it's ticking down. Toronto is getting a 2-game lead in the second round. Game 3. Can Toronto get a 3-game lead as it's coming out strong for Florida again? Kuliakov gets a goal. 4 shots Florida, 1 shot Toronto. Halfway through the first, Florida gets a power play. Toronto kills it. Toronto gets a power play. Florida kills it. And we're coming into the end of the first period as Toronto gets another power play, but Florida will stop it and save it to a 1-goal game in the first period. Coming into the second, Toronto still has that power play. They make nothing of it as they get extended power play minutes. Florida just keeps taking them. And they get ahead as they get a power play and Toronto can't stop it. Florida takes a 3-goal lead. This one is getting away from Toronto as Florida will not lose another game. and they come out and they just play like their season depends on it. Going into the third period, 3-0 Florida. If Toronto doesn't tuck one in quick, it is over. Armia does pull one out quick as they get a 5-on-3. Can they slap in another one? No, they cannot. Halfway through the third period, Toronto's got to tuck something in that net or it is over. And I think this game is sliding away from Toronto. 5 minutes left, 3-1. Oh my God, Sandin tucks one in. 2 minutes left, 3-1 game. Can they tie it up? No, they cannot. And the game ends. Florida gets the third game, 2-1 series. Side note, Vegas is beating Edmonton. Edmonton might get booted out of the second. Just saying. Edmonton and Connor McDavid may not get past Vegas, but we have to worry about getting past Florida as it is 2-1 series. Close series. The game in the first period, 10 minutes in, Florida gets a goal. Sam Bennett tucks one past Fleury. Toronto gets a power play but makes nothing of it. They got to start taking advantage of their power plays. Fourth line, Malgin puts one in past Bobrovsky to tie it up. We're going to end the first period. Tie game. 8 shots Florida, 9 shots Toronto. The boys are playing better in this one. They want to go up and they want to get a lead, but they didn't do anything on that power play. Matthew Tkachuk comes down and takes a goal to get a 2-1 game. Florida, halfway through the second, Florida has the win and the lead in shots. Toronto gets a power play, but they make nothing of it again. Their power play has been dreadful in the playoffs, but Pacioretty buries one 5-on-5. Again, Toronto gets a power play and does nothing with it. Toronto really needs to work on their power play if they're going to go deep in the playoffs. Sam Reinhart scores a power play goal. That's how you do it, Toronto. You need to start scoring on the power play. Halfway through the third, Florida's winning 3-2. 29 shots Toronto, 29 shots Florida. We have a close game, and Florida looks like they are going to tie the series as Toronto can't put one in the net. Florida and Toronto tie the series in the playoffs 2-2. Edmonton tied the series. Buffalo and Carolina have a tight series. It is close playoff hockey right now. Going into game 5, Connor Brown is 10 games, 10 points. Can he strike gold in this game and keep his streak alive? Yes, he does. He gets by Bob. Tarasenko gets a power play goal where Toronto has been struggling in these playoffs, but not tonight. They bury one. They get a power play. They can't get another one to get a 3-goal lead, but they're going to come into the end of the first period up 2-0. 14 shots Toronto, 10 shots Florida. What a first period. The second period, nothing changes. Firing quick shots. Giordano's going to make it a 3-goal game. Florida gets a power play, but Toronto kills it. Halfway through the second, we're still looking at 3-goal lead. 20 shots Toronto, 15 shots Florida. Oh my God, what a game we got going here. Can Toronto make it a 3-2 series coming into the end of the second? Florida scores. Verhaeghe tucks one in with the last minute and a half of the period. Toronto cannot hold that defense. 25 shots, 19 shots Florida. 3-1 still Toronto coming halfway through the third. If they can keep it without Florida tucking another one, it's looking good with a 2-goal cushion. Toronto is coming into the last 5 minutes of the game. They just need to struggle to find that defense to get it, and they look like they are. Yes, Toronto takes game 5. 3-2 series. Minnesota kicks Arizona out of the playoffs. Remember, Austin Matthews is on Arizona when we traded him last year. So Austin Matthews just got taken out of the second round. Vegas is up on Edmonton 3-2 in that series. Carolina is up on Buffalo 3-2. And Toronto is up 3-2 on the Florida Panthers. Time to go. Game 6. Can Toronto take Florida out of it and move on to the third round? Toronto starts with a 2-goal lead and a power play. Can they go again? No, but Barkov comes back and tucks one. First time we've seen him. Giordano's been a playoff machine right now. He wants to win a Stanley Cup before retiring. Coming into the end of the first period, it's 3-2 Toronto. Florida got a power play, but Toronto killed it. Bennett buries one 5-on-5 to make it 3-2 coming into the end of the first period. 11 shots Florida, 10 shots Toronto. Coming into the second period, Toronto still has their lead. They get a power play. Oh my God, McCabe buries one shorthanded. That is tough, but the boys come back and Connor Bedard buries a power play goal to get a 1-goal lead. Can they lock it down, protect this lead, and win their fourth game in round 2 to go on to round 3? The end of the second period, 4-3 Toronto, 20 shots Toronto, 18 shots Florida. The game is tight. We cannot back off on our defense, and we cannot back off on our offense. Tarasenko buries another one. He's been a playoff machine. Barkov buries one to make it 5-4. Florida is not going away. Power play Toronto, we do nothing with it. 8 minutes left, 7 minutes left. Power play Toronto, nothing. Oh, they do get it. Pacioretty buries one to make it a 6-4 game, bringing it into the end. Toronto clears out Florida to move on to the third round.
Woo! What a second round, guys. That was unbelievable. Not only did we get past the first round, we got past the second round, and time to go to the third round, and let's hopefully get another big win. Huge win, guys. We're stoked for that. But we're going to end it there. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the third round.